Thanks for the F Shack. Love Dirty Mike and the boys.
Hey, are you Dirty Mike and the boys? How you know who we are?
What's this they call it, the podcast?
Morning Good. Oh, I love
Hey, welcome to the air. Thanks. Oh, wait, I'll start over.
Welcome to Morning Good.
All right, you're talking about comics doing OnlyFans. We're here, the Andrew Manning and Chris Kinback.
Yo.
Hey.
Yes, I was just hearing of this comic who was like kind of getting into it for the comedy and then slowly was like, let me just throw a shirtless pic up there.
Yeah.
Got a good response, and then the next thing he's just posting more of those, and then it's like mostly that. And I think it's just a slippery slope into being like, oh yeah, this is so much easier.
Right.
I've said that so many times. People ask me, they're like, why don't you sell feed pics? I'm like, it starts that way. Next thing you know, I'm getting ass fucked. I know how this works.
There is a pathway directly from, it's not hard to imagine that happening.
Everybody's got a price too. You don't realize it
totally,
till you start going down that road, and then they're like, just jerk off a little bit on the thing. You're like,
Bro.
I was gonna jerk off anyway. I might as well get paid
Yeah.
$1,000 for it.
If they were like, you have an hour of comedy, right? You're not getting booked anywhere. Like, you're doing shitty. I've said this 100 times. CEO of Netflix goes, I get to fuck you, or you have to suck my dick until I come.
Yeah.
You get an hour-long Netflix special. Or the other one I've said is you get to do Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
but he's the one you blow. So you gotta it's an
Yeah.
awkward episode because the whole time you're like, ugh.
You gotta do
Is
it
it blowjob before or after?
the episode. Yeah.
It's
the tough
before.
part.
Is it right before?
It's right before, and then you spit out the cum.
They play the music
Yeah.
right as the cum's still in your mouth. It's like doo-ba-doo.
wiping your
Joe Rogan
mouth.
podcast,
It's
bud.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, great to be here.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of
looking
those
forward
things
to
that
this.
you're like, it's such a. This is probably super psych. Oh, whatever. It is really funny learning how many people fuck their way to the top. You completely change your views on you are like, oh yeah, I wonder how much of Hollywood is just that.
Right, but at what point are you being selfish by not fuck? Like, if you can change the trajectory of your life, your family's life, and all you got to do is like fuck one guy to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
are you being
yeah.
selfish by not doing it? You know?
Yeah, well, it's
like
such
at
a-
some point you're like, I gotta fuck somebody. Might as well fuck this guy who's in a position of influence that can help my career.
Yeah, well, and Mia Khalifa said that she was like talking. One of the great philosophers, Mia Khalifa. Big
Mhm.
fan of-
Yeah.
Yeah, I love hearing about her ideas.
Yeah, yeah. She is like,
Brilliant lady.
yeah. We all, we love Mia Khalifa on this podcast. I love just generalizing everybody because we could mean us three or the listeners or just me and the producer. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
The good heads. What are the fans of the
The
podcast?
good heads is great.
The good heads, like maybe the good boys.
The good boys.
Ooh,
The good boys.
yeah.
It's got to be boys only.
I mean, I don't think there's a lot of chicks.
Good.
I mean, I either way. Mia Khalifa said some shit where she's like, yeah, no. She's like, everybody's like, oh, you sold your body. She's like, what are you doing when you work anywhere, like a shitty office job, or being a soldier? She's like, you are literally being like wherever you guys want to put me.
Wow, great way to justify being.
Yeah,
a
she's
whore.
like, I am a soldier. No, well, that's the
I'm
thing
convinced.
with the wars. It's like there's so many different kinds. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things
It's a
where
little
you're
more
like,
honorable to be in wars than it is.
depending,
to be,
dude. I mean, if you're talking about
Well,
like shooting an Iraqi kid in the face versus
yeah,
like
that's true.
blowing a nice guy.
But yeah, I guess if that's all you have, it's like this is what God gave me. I might as well use it. You know,
Yeah,
God
yeah,
gave
yeah.
you
But
an
let me
incredible
clarify.
body.
There are some incredibly brave soldiers. I think anybody doing it.
There's some
is-
incredibly brave prostitutes, good sir.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's
Both
like,
doing God's work.
yeah, but it's like, don't act like there isn't some level of submission to your job where you're like, all right, whatever this guy's.
Oh,
telling me to
absolutely.
do. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
doing. Yeah.
What is a pimp if not a drill sergeant for whores?
Exactly.
Just
Yeah.
imagine a
Get
guy in a
line,
big purple suit walking down some barracks, just like,
Yeah.
having ladies like show their pussy to him, and he's just like, dirty, slaps it, clean, moves to the next one.
I picture.
Drop and give me 10 squats.
I picture more like soldiers lined up, and then like a guy with that big purple hat just walking up and kissing each shoulder on the cheek. He's like, "You gonna do whatever I say?" Yeah.
I mean,
Good soldier.
I could see that in real life. I could
Yeah.
see Arlie Ermey doing some outtakes for Full Metal Jacket, where he's just like,
He's a pimp.
he's like feeling their boobs and stuff, just even though they're guys. Just, yeah, that's pretty good.
This has turned into the least veteran-friendly podcast ever created.
Oh,
There
yeah.
goes half of the good boys that are in the military. There goes the military good boys that are out.
Those are the funny ones. Like I remember, like Dan Crenshaw, who fucking whatever. That guy's who gives a shit.
Eye patch
Get
guy.
a sick
Eye patch guy.
Yeah.
The eye patch is sick, but I remember he was like,
badass.
yeah, you know, he was talking about how I love the attitude of like, well, we can make these kind of jokes because we, did the show. It's like, hey, I mean, I don't really.
What?
It's just funny that it's like, that is one of those things that everything's a PC for somebody. So if you're conservative, the military becomes a PC now, where it's like, oh, that's now not a thing you can't joke about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's got something.
Yeah. Besides me, you can fart in my face and punch me in the balls.
Yeah.
it's
Actually, your
preferred.
PC is not treating you like that.
Yeah. You respect me?
Yeah.
Not even kidding. That's what it is, bro. Jess Levin is so nice to me that it fucking makes me feel like it's so insulting. Because like JJ was on the podcast and he was roasting me. She's like, be nice to him. I'm like, whoa, Jess, this is really insulting. Are you saying I'm a fucking pussy? Like,
Were they both on the same podcast with you?
Oh, yeah.
That's an amazing
It's crazy.
cast.
Yeah,
Is
it's gonna
JJ
be-
Lieberman and Jess Levin?
Yes.
Holy shit.
It's gonna be tough to top that, dude. I don't know if I have any good.
You guys are
any
like the
good
reverse of that. Two very
any good
chill
milking
guys.
or perv story. Like JJ is. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Like I think like
Dude.
I cannot get offended. I watch some of JJ stuff. I'm like, that is fucking offensive.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
JJ's one of those guys where I'm like, first off, I get scared that that's going to be me one day as far as just like being that gross.
Just taking the fucking all the breaks off and just saying whatever the fuck. Anything. Because he's saying shit that you're like, oh, you can't say that. He's saying it and now he has to top himself every time.
Yeah. You turn around, he's like sniffing a dog's ass, and he's like, and you're like, this is a lot. But
What? A victimless crime.
Yeah.
They're sniffing each other's asses. Why can't I sniff one?
Yeah.
but it's funny because I'm like, part of me's like that, but then part of me also makes me feel better because I'm like a perv, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I feel
Not
like
that
a Christian
bad.
compared to this guy.
Yeah. At least you draw the line at dudes. I feel like when you get into dudes,
Chris
everything
is so
opens up.
homophobic.
Everything opens up. 'Cause it's like
I
at
love
least if you're
it's
only
a slippery
into,
slope line.
right. Well,
That's
if you pick,
such a
if you
silly argument because there's so many straight pedophiles.
well, if you just pick one, then it's like okay, you're limited to like how perverted you can be. But if you're into everybody, your
don't think
breath
so.
your breath of perversion can just go so much higher.
Okay, I get what you're saying as far as like if you're banging dudes, you care less about what other people think about you, so you can kind of like. There's not really a lot of limits.
Right, but there's just more stuff that can happen. You can bring dudes
You're not-
in, and you can have chicks come in, and he's into like watching.
What else can you do?
Watching his girlfriend get fucked by a dude. That's like a whole nother angle, and it's just like
I get what you're saying. It's like once you like, you've opened up the buffet a little bit larger once you're also banging dudes.
it's beyond perversion into like an illness, like a sickness.
He's just calling homosexuality an illness.
No, not just homosexuality, but
Not
there's
just
the
look, he
the
does it.
crazy
Yeah,
shit.
he's like not only
There's
homosexuality.
other things in there. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I'm a big fan of JJ. So anytime I do have to watch his videos. Anytime he puts one up, I'm like, I'm dying to see where this, what level he can take
Well,
it
my
to.
favorite
And
is
he
Tony
never.
Wellens. So if you don't know, look up JJ Lieberman. He posts. He's been on the podcast, but he does like I'm not a pervert, but and then he says something super
It's
perverted.
just on Kill Tony too.
Yeah, but he just does these front-facing videos. And the funniest was Tony Wellens took a video of him doing it, which is so funny because you just see him like with nobody around. Like he just looks like such a crazy person. When you see a front-facing video and somebody's completely alone, you're like, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, it is funny. Like I've gotten like, and I'm trying to get off Instagram because I think it is kind of like frying my brain in a lot of ways. But it's like some of it's great where it's just like a silly monkey meme or like something that's just crazy. But it's like there is some of the where I was watching one of like they're doing man on the street things, but it's now at my college I went to. Now it's at Florida State, and I'm like, ugh, this is like
Could have been you.
not that, but I wouldn't know. I had such a good parameter of like what's fucking lame in college. Like there was this fraternity called Pike, and they did a top house video where they're like, "Welcome to the largest fraternity house in the nation." I was like, "Oh, this is the douchiest thing I've seen in my life." And even in college, I was a freshman, and I was like, "This is fucking lame." Like it's like the dudes being like, "Our president," like you know what I mean? I'm like, "Oh, this is fucking so like you should be bullied for this."
Right.
And then I rewatched it. And it's really funny because it's like doing like podcasting and stand up. You watch it and you're like, these guys are very camera shy, like roided out dudes that are like, our fraternity was founded in 1945. And you're like, dude, this is like insane. But there was like a little bit of that going on at college, but not to the degree of like, yeah, so you know what I mean? Like the whole body count stuff where it's just like a guy interviewing like,
Yeah,
hot
they're
chicks
doing
on
fake
campus.
interviews at parties or whatever with
Yeah.
girls and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the kind of thing you're trying to avoid on Instagram. Like
Yeah.
just it's brain rot stuff.
Yeah,
you?
it's a little bit of that, and then it's like every single time when it's like, I always want to see a hot chick's answer to a question. It's crazy. Like no matter what, they'll be like, okay, so what do you think of like nice guys? I'm like, what does she think of nice? Like I completely fall for the
Man.
trap of every time.
That's
Well,
interesting.
Yeah, once they show a hot chick, they kind of grab your attention. There.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah,
You do want to like,
which
all
is not
those-
an angle I've done at all on this podcast, which is really funny.
Yeah, you got to get more hot chicks on.
Yeah, you got to get them to come here and take their fucking socks off. Think they like you?
An
Their
all
audience is going to
feet
go
pod.
nuts.
Yeah,
dude,
that
they're
would
gonna
be
be
sweet.
They're gay though. They're gonna be disgusted.
Yeah, they're going to be like, ew, girl feet.
Speaking of feet, I lost a toenail last year playing soccer. My big toenail. You
Oh,
ever
yeah.
lose a toenail? It takes about a year to like fully grow back.
Yeah, yeah.
I got a fingernail that's like bruised. You know when you got like a bruise?
Yeah. No, that's
So
not,
what
that's not
stage
it.
are you at regrowing?
So it grew all the way back, and then 2 days ago, I played soccer again. Somebody stepped on it again, and I know this one. I know it's about to fall off again. So I'm fucking back
Goddamn.
at square one. So that would be a good one to have. A toenailless
Send your
toe
tongue
might
on
be
the
good on
viewers. He'll
here.
put it in his mouth and
Yeah.
burst to it.
Yeah, it
and then-
does look kind of naughty. 'Cause it just looks like naked almost.
You know what's also really
wow,
funny?
yeah, the nails are kind of the lingerie of the feet.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
really
yeah.
are. So
You know what's
get-
funny to think about? You look at all these people, you're like, look at these fucking disgusting perverts on the internet. And I'm like, oh, that's also just me, just in a different category. Like, I'm also
Right.
just like jerking off to like old ladies. And I'm like, yeah, look at these. I'm not like genuinely judging the feet guy. I don't give a fuck. But it's so funny because when you only know somebody from like a common basis, I think all these guys do is jerk off all day, which is not. They're like regular people. This guy probably works at like, I don't know, Blackstone. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
maybe not, but I'm like,
He
it
might.
is funny that when you see somebody's comment of them being horny, you think all they do is be horny. You know what I mean? Like when you see like somebody comment on like anything that's horny, you just assume that that's what they're doing all the time.
Well,
You
they
don't
kind of
think the whole
are. If they go
person.
on the internet to talk about how horny they are, they're really horny.
But maybe
you know,
it's
because you
just
think
a
about how
moment,
horny you are, and I've never thought about commenting
yeah.
Making a
on a
front-facing
video.
By the way, keep
video.
commenting
about it.
about
I've never thought about
It keeps up
talking
engagement.
about my
keep
milking
commenting about
machine.
how fucking horny you are.
Oh yeah, please
keep doing it.
comment, talk, say whatever's on your mind. Literally, just engage with everything.
gonna
of
suck
my
if
But just
if
goals.
know
we
if I
get-
don't see your face, I have no idea who you're as a person, and I picture you just a gooning man.
I picture a hot chick. It's probably a hot chick.
I've had
That's
one
into
chick
that.
say she masturbated to me on a podcast.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get out of here. How long has she been a chick for? She was just dabbling in
Yeah.
being a chick. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. It is. I mean, like women, I feel like they'll masturbate to like weird things. I've heard like women be like, "Yeah, no, I was like a guy playing soccer and losing his toenail." And they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
they're
that's
just-
kinda
they're
hot.
turned on by very odd things.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I need to market that more.
Market the soccer guy. I mean, soccer players. I think that's like a very attractive thing to females.
I was thinking like the toeless guy angle.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, you
Soccer players are hot. It's a pretty gay sport, but it's
Yeah, for sure.
European soccer guys, like Italian soccer guys,
Yeah.
smoking hot.
But I think it's like women are like dudes where like they have like so many different types. Like they might be like they'll say, "I want like a tall, tan, whatever that'd be attractive." But then like
They're idiots. They don't know what they want.
Yeah,
is what
yeah,
you're
yeah.
trying to say.
exactly is what I'm saying.
We
Chris
know what they
Kinback
want.
methodology
Yeah,
of
I
tall
know.
and tan
I know
is-
what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
They're-
not. You want a tall, handsome guy? No,
No.
no.
You want a
You're an
short,
idiot. Trust
pale,
me. Yeah, trust
blue-eyed
me.
stud.
I have a
You
bigger
actually
brain.
got a decent
I know what
tan
you
going.
want.
He's tanner than me.
Yeah, dude.
So what
I
are you
was,
saying about me?
I mean, compared to him, I don't know. I don't know. You're completely Caucasian, super white. I don't know.
Has there been any racism towards albinos?
I'm sure.
We can come
It's
up with
gotta
some.
be.
Yeah,
real
yeah.
quick, yeah.
Alan Fitzgerald will come up with something
Yeah.
for sure, dude. He has the
Yeah.
most absurd racial references that you're like, I guess that is kind of accurate. Like a stereotype that you never even thought about, and you're like, yeah, I guess that checks out.
A recent one I saw was like the black people on the speakerphone thing. I was like, I never noticed that until somebody mentioned it.
Oh yeah.
Until somebody mentioned it
I've
on
noticed that.
speakerphone.
Now you can't stop seeing it,
now,
right?
now you can't stop seeing it. Well, like somebody, I forgot what it was. Somebody's like, I've never seen a black guy vaping. And then it works really well that way when somebody says,
Interesting.
have you never seen this? Because
Then
then you
you're
can't
looking for it.
remember seeing it.
Right. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like if somebody's just like, I've never seen a black guy wearing like, this. I'd be like,
Or
"I've never seen-"
zinning.
Cap and gown.
Yeah.
I went to
I'm just. Someone else said that. I'm just repeating.
Yeah,
That's
you're just
funny.
being- well, you know what? A really good one. Kurt Metzger had such a good bit about how like every time a black guy gets shot in the hood who's like not a gang member, like friendly fire, like things like that, they always show his graduation picture. And then it's always like, he's like, nerds are only getting hit by bullets. He's like, there's like Urkel-seeking bullets out there in the hood that are just hitting.
Just promising seeking bullets.
I went to get a Zin one time, and the guy at the 7-Eleven was like, only white people take these. And I was like, oh, cool. And he's like, and black people, just parliaments. I was like, yeah, I didn't ask for any of this.
That's funny. You should have just kept on buying stuff. And every time you buy something, he gives you racism facts.
You're writing it down.
Yeah.
Chris goes on stage instead of, I mean, you do like semi-race jokes, but it'd be funny if he just turns into like a race guy. He's like, my Latinos, motherfucker. For some reason, he's doing a black accent talking about it. He's like, y'all always be eating them peppermint.
I got to go to the 7-Eleven to get the inside scoop on what races are doing what now.
The
guys
you get booked
like,
to do an hour,
update.
and then you're like, I can fill that time. You go back to the 7-Eleven, and the guy's not there anymore.
Yeah,
and you
you're
panic.
like, fuck.
Yeah, the source of my material is gone.
Dude, you ever go to 7-Eleven? There's the one on, what is it, West 4th Street. I always have this issue where it's like the dude doesn't speak English, and I'm trying to...
What?
Never.
crazy. Yeah.
Never in my life have I had a convenience store owner not speak perfect English.
But I'll have that thing where I'm trying to point to something, and then it literally turns into a crane machine where I'm like left, right.
Eventually, you just end up buying something you didn't want. It's like, yeah, I'll take Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah. I'm like left, down. No, down too far. Down, up, drop, and then he grabs the pin. Yeah.
He comes back to the counter. His arm swings like that.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
They've kind of cleaned that place up a little bit. It used to be that they were just getting ravaged every night. I feel like every night you just go in there and they're like in tears almost from how much people are robbing them. Shit.
Dude, that's why it's so funny. I said this in the last episode. People are always just like, dude, whatever. You rob from stores. It's not a big deal. I'm like, yeah, but now they have to lock everything fucking up.
Oh, yeah.
Because my fucking friends steal everything, and they're always just like, yeah, whatever. It's a corporation, bro. Who even cares? Every fucking time.
Right.
They love saying it's a corporation. I'm like, no, now this Indian guy gets less money, and then they're going to lock everything. Now they have like to get like a fucking Red Bull, I need to open a safe now.
Oh, right.
Because like, yeah,
made their job.
But the battles are crazy, bro. It's like one of those where like, it's like you always walk in, there's like a homeless guy like opening the automatic door for you or something, and he's like, come on. And they're like, dude, come on.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not
I hate
gonna give you
that.
money for that.
I used to work near the 7-Eleven on 8th Avenue and 28th Street in Chelsea, and there was always a homeless guy holding the door there, and they would become like complacent sometimes, like, and I would go there, and oftentimes they'd be like inside, just distracted, and you would go to open the door, and they'd be like holding it. So it's like, not only are you fucking up opening the door for me, you're holding it shut. And so like, I remember this one guy, he was like a new door holder guy. There was like a usual guy. This guy was new, and I like go to open the door, and he's like upset that I'm trying to open it without him opening for, like, I guess he wanted me to like knock and let him open it for me, and he fucking threw a tantrum, starts trying to shut it on me, and then called me fat boy.
Really?
He was like, you don't want to fight me, fat boy.
How skinny was he? You're a thin guy.
He was not like in great shape, believe it or not, but I was chunky, and so he like perceived that. Like, I wasn't wearing like a tight t-shirt, and being overweight. I was like wearing.
You wearing an Under Armour shirt like that, just fat as shit.
Yeah,
it's kind of a good way to get to anybody, because anybody kind of feels fat, or they're like, oh, maybe I look fat. Maybe I look fatter than I thought.
Yeah,
it was. That's a good insult for anybody.
Yeah, maybe. But I was like,
nailed it. Yeah, one guy in 7-Eleven. There used to be a bunch of crazy homeless guys around then, back when we were barking
I think
out
they're still
there.
there. I think we just don't bark.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But this guy followed me in there, was trying to fight me.
Followed you into 7-Eleven?
Followed me into 7-Eleven, was trying to, who are you, Dave Chappelle? Hold it cool. No, he just means hold it cooler.
Okay,
you're holding it like a nerd. Yeah.
Mine's like this.
Yeah.
Like you're a fucking... Like
all right, go ahead, tell your story, Chris.
All right, so then the guy follows me around, and he's trying to like fight me for some reason, because I just didn't pay attention. Because he was like holding the door, and I like didn't even look at him. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Well, you can't look at me." I was like, "Dude, I'm not gonna if I'm not gonna give you money, I'm not gonna look at you and then be like, no, I'm just gonna ignore you and walk in." So anyways, he's like getting in my face in the 7-Eleven, and the fucking cashier goes, "Hey, you two, take it outside. Like, fight outside." I'm like, I'm now involved. Now I gotta fight this guy.
I don't care who
outside.
started it.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah.
are outside.
I was like, unbelievable.
Yeah.
What do you mean you two? There's only one fully human person.
Yeah. Who's
The other guy's a door holder.
now you just signed me up to fight this guy who's harassing me in your store.
Who's got just nothing to lose, just on I love
No.
I love when people try to act like homeless people aren't scary. Like I used to have a bit about homeless people being scary, and people get really uncomfortable. I'm like, do not act like there's nothing scarier than a guy high on meth with literally nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Right.
And schizophrenia. It's like that's the scariest human being.
And they just
Yeah.
want any sort of interaction. Like they want contact. Like they don't care if you
Provocation,
punch
yeah.
them in the face. They're just like they want. That's like
Yeah.
affection to them.
There was one I was doing a
Yeah,
show.
that's like a nice hug.
Yeah.
You should actually
They
go
feel
out and
alive.
punch your local homeless guy.
Yeah,
in the
they
face.
love it.
like
Let them know they're real because like their delusions are that
Yeah.
you're an NPC or they're an NPC. Let
Right.
them know
It
you're
snaps
real.
them back to reality
Just
and gets them.
Go say, "I see you," and slap his cup.
Yeah, that's like that's like a coffee for them. So it wakes them up.
Yeah. Dude, there was one that got kicked out of the Parallel. It was so funny. I'm like doing God mic. I'm like, you guys ready for a great show? Blah, blah, blah. If you don't know, God mic is like the microphone where you can't see the stage. So it's just like the general announcements. And then right as I see that, I'm bringing up the host and I just see a guy walk by without a ticket and just like, and the guy's just like moving the candle around and shit like that. And the host is just on stage having like not really an idea of what's going on. And I realized the story doesn't go anywhere. But, sometimes,
So
What'd you
homeless
do?
guy just snuck
Oh,
in.
I did nothing, dude. I am such a
Oh, because they're
pussy.
scary. Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
guy's giant, bro. The guy's like fucking 6'5", 900 pounds.
Mhm.
I'm not over exaggerating any of that. But
So you let him
He's
go
the
on
biggest human ever.
Yeah,
yeah.
900
So you let him go on
pounds.
dude,
stage.
he was
You let him do a
7
little
foot
time.
tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he ran the show, butt fucked me, and
Yeah.
bit 9 ladies. But fucking no, Snyder walked up and just like.
Yeah, it's
John
nice to have
Snyder.
like bigger guys. That's the beauty of like not being big. Nobody looks to you when shit goes down.
Dude, I'm
You
not.
always look for like the biggest, the tall guy. Even if he's not a fighter, he has to become like
Dude, I
some
wish
sort of fighter.
I gotta learn something because I do feel powerless. I had a dream the other day. There was like somebody about to like molest a child,
Mm.
but they were like gonna like blow up. There was something where like
Yeah.
it was a weird Murphy's Law where I was like, I would die if the kid like, you know what I mean? And I didn't do the right thing.
Man, you're so fucked up.
Yeah.
You had a dream that a child was going to be molested, and
Or
if
I
you,
die and I chose to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Wow.
that is a tough
so.
one.
So wait a sec. You child molestation breathes life into you? Is
No,
that-
that's not what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like that's the deeper dream. No, I was like, I just hated how much of a coward I was in the dream because I think it was like the guy had like
Oh,
a
yeah.
loaded gun or something, and I was like, I guess I'm not a hero.
I mean, the child's an
Nah.
asshole if he doesn't get that.
At that point,
yeah, he's like,
Yeah. no matter how much jujitsu training you have, if the guy's got a gun, you're fucked. All the
Right.
training's out the
I'm
window
like, well,
anyway.
he could shoot me and then molest the kid. But I wasn't thinking in the dream. In the dream, I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll go call the police. That's like
You should have been like, just shoot the kid. Then the kid doesn't get molested, you don't die, and it's kind of a win-win.
What would you genuinely do? Guy's got a gun right here. He goes, I'm gonna have sex with this child.
Or
I'm gonna
shoot me.
or shoot you.
For sure, molest the child.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not the
Yeah.
biggest piece of shit on earth.
No, of course not. Everybody would trade their life for that. Are you kidding? People do such stupider, lamer stuff to preserve their life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, and then maybe the way I'll always justify it is like, I think I'm a good person. Me dying could make the world a worse place. So maybe if I get rich, I could then donate all the money to stop
Right.
other
Yeah.
kids.
Stop
getting
future
molested. I could save 40 kids,
molestations.
but if I'm dead,
Right.
what is the world going to do?
There's only so much you
Everybody
can
gets
do.
molested.
Have you
Fine,
seen
right.
Saving Private Ryan?
Yes.
You know, the child right before the guy molests him, he turns to you and he's just like, earn this.
I
But
thought
I
you were
do have a
saying there
deep-
was a molestation in Saving Private Ryan. I'm like, how did I miss
Yeah.
that part?
Yeah, that's why Upham's such a little twat. he got molested in fucking basic training.
But I think it is based on me not feeling like a hero. Like you always see couples fighting. I see it all the time, dude. I see like borderline like about to be domestic violence so much in New York, just walking around. Like I always
And
see
you just step in. You're like, let me take a hit
Let
at
me-
it first. Let me get the first.
You
hit.
intervene to
Yeah.
help.
dude,
to help
relax
the
your
guy.
arms, bro. Let me get a set.
You're gonna
Or
want to
you're like,
turn
hey-
your foot when you swing. You want to
You're
like you're putting
hey,
out a cigarette.
He's a really big guy. Taking a hit from me is going to hurt a lot less. Why don't you let me? Why don't you let me do this right now? And
We'll
someone's
really sell
helping you.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, what's the well, it's like I always see that and I always watch. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Is she like trying to escape the guy? Is it? But it always makes me nervous because I'm like, fuck, am I gonna have to fight a guy right now? But it always is the thing where like I see so many women like hitting their boy. I keep seeing women like provoking their boyfriends in public, and I'm just like, all right, look, if you push your boyfriend 5 times and start hitting him, like if he clocks you, like he's a piece of shit, but also like you walk, you know what I mean? It's like, what are you gonna stop everybody?
Right.
I mean, this is
You can't get
years
in there.
What am I gonna fix your relationship?
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
that's insane. You can't. That's such deep water to jump in. You can't intervene. I like the videos of because I've gotten them on my reels and shit. Domestic. It's not even domestic violence. It's just like a man and woman fighting, and it's like they are in the same weight class, and it is nobody's going down. The punches are solid on both sides.
It's just an even fight.
It's an even fight. I've seen those a few times, and it's like, it really fucking it stands out when you're watching a woman like trade blows.
Hold her on.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
it's inspiring. Actually, women can do anything.
Yeah. There's probably more of them doing like MMA and shit now. So now you got to be careful with the women that you beat up. You got to be careful.
Yeah. Also,
it's not like the old. It's not like the old
Be
days.
careful who you're fighting. You want to hit a woman, she might have some muscle tone to her.
Right.
But the fucking what was it? My favorite. Have you seen the one where it's a Russian guy fighting like 4 women at a time? It's like a UFC like sanctioned kind of event over there.
Yeah,
Where it's
I think
one
that's
Russian
so
guy and,
fucking
like 3
funny. Oh
women
my
just
God.
fighting him. And he's just like, whoa, just like some ball, just
Yeah.
just giant like.
I love
who's that
those-
dude? Tyson Fury. Where's he from?
Oh God, he's like a I don't know, gypsy. Am I allowed to say he's like
I think he's
Romani or
England.
something?
I thought it was the UK maybe, but no, you
Maybe.
might be
But just a
right.
guy
I
that
mean,
looks
yeah.
like that, just like giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a gypsy.
Oh, he calls himself
right?
the Gypsy King,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
he? Okay, that's why
Yeah.
I fucking thought gypsy. Yeah, UK or whatever though. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's some fucking beast.
Yeah.
But what were you saying about him?
No, just there's guys like him. It's always the guy that looks kind of like him, just fighting for women. I mean, I saw one video. I'm like, it's always every time. I don't know what it is. Team fighting's fucking sick. You ever watch that?
No.
I've seen some of those
They're
videos.
great.
Yeah.
It's like 2 groups of 10.
Yeah.
They're on different teams and they all just run at each other.
Damn.
And instead of an octagon, it's almost like just a padded gymnasium. I've
Yeah.
seen
Fucking awesome.
like handball.
And what are the
but-
rule? What are the rules? Like you tap somebody out and then you go on to the next person. You got to tap out all 10 people.
Well, I think
I
they're
was
blowing, like trading blows as well as
Yeah, they're
choking
beating
people
the
out.
fuck out of
Yeah,
each other.
yeah.
It'll
Oh,
be like
really?
3 people ganging up on a dude. I've only watched it like twice when I was drunk, but I got to restart watching it because it's like I'm so done with. I've never really liked sports, but I always like a new sport. Like if I see something I've never seen before, I'm like, ooh, what is that? Like that is cool.
Mhm.
When you see like a weird board or something, somebody's doing some new thing in the water, you're like, this is kite surf wake sky. And
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I played trampoline dodgeball when
that is a blast.
when I
bro.
graduated college. There was like a trampoline dodgeball like gym that just popped up near me, and they were having some tournament. So you needed 5 guys to get in it, and you could enter the tournament. So we entered it and we won it. And you win a free trip to LA to compete in the national tournament. It was televised on like Fox Sports Net or something. We went 0-6 in the national tournament. We lost to a team that
You
had
had
like, that had
televised?
3 chicks on it. We didn't even make it to the TV round. Like the
Okay.
TV
I
round was
picture you
like the
trying to do your
finals.
bits out there. Funny part about
but yeah, it was
story,
fucking. It was so awesome. But then when we got to LA, like all these teams have been doing it for like years. We had just started like a week ago.
Well, it's got to be such a mix because you got like probably 100 people who've been dedicated their life to this, and
Right.
everybody else is just other people who are like,
This would be fun to do.
It was
Yeah.
it was awesome. But
Amateurs.
you get a couple baseball players and a couple like good athletes, and you got a team.
that's so.
But
fun.
baseball like pitchers are fucking nasty at throwing
Oh, I'm sure.
little dodgeballs. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
that was
always
my
like.
claim to fame.
I was always very bad at throwing the foam dodgeballs because there's like the ones that are like foam, and then there's
Inflated rubber versus foam.
I was
Yeah.
always good at throwing the rubber ones. I'm very good at dodging. I'm just not good at throwing.
Yeah,
And then I'd
catch- what
throw
about
it, and I'm
catching?
like, "Ah."
Catching is huge. Catching is so
Yeah.
valuable in dodgeball because you get
Yeah,
another
yeah.
player in.
I was terrible at catching. I was,
you'd be useless on that
just
team.
good,
then.
but I
You
am
wouldn't
good at
make the cut.
dodging. I would just stand there for a while and then hopefully. But the foam ones too is like they're hard to throw, but they're also really easy to dodge because I think they come at you so slowly.
They come at you slow. They curve sometimes.
Yeah.
Away from you.
Bro, dude, if I could get a membership, that'd be a great, because I'm on this fucking weight loss journey, bro. If I could join a trampoline gym, that'd be so much fun,
dude.
Just bounce around for hours, listening
Just
to podcasts, doing front flips.
Gymnastics all day.
Yeah, that sounds like a blast. You know what's really
Jumping
funny?
into foam pits with all these like little 8-year-old birthday parties.
Well, you know,
watch out.
It's just giving a kid an irreversible
watch out-
spinal injury.
Watch
You
out,
landed on him.
kids. I'm coming in.
You know what's really funny? I am like, there's a thing that happens where like, I looked this up. I'm way less horny than I've ever been. Apparently, if you lose weight, like you get less horny, and I think my testosterone's lowering.
I have a theory on that.
Okay, what is it?
It's your caloric deficit. You have less energy to work with because you're taking in less energy to
So,
burn.
your brain is instead of fucking, let me get some more food.
It's got to prioritize. It's like we
Yeah.
got to survive. We can't be fucking right now.
Yeah,
we can't be jerking off.
Additionally,
every hour.
I feel really effeminate recently. Like I'm just talking. I'm like a trampoline gym would be so fun. I can bounce around. I'm like, look where I'm
If
sitting.
I could
don't
do
know what's.
gymnastics,
Yeah,
maybe get a leotard and walk along a balance beam.
yeah. But I guess I don't know. Occasionally, I'll have that. But then I have been just angry. So I mean, I guess I still have a little testosterone in me.
Yeah, because women never get angry.
That's true.
Yeah, you're probably more moody than angry.
Yeah.
You're probably just
My little
PMSing.
period. Yeah, it is. I've just noticed the way I was talking the other day. I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, what is that? Am I turning into?
Yeah,
a
you're laying
redhead?
on your bed, kicking your feet in the air, like on your belly, like
Yeah.
twirling the phone cable.
You're
for
like,
no reason.
Kamala had some great points. Actually, man.
When I was fucking fat, I just feel like such a dude just jerking off onto my stomach, just cum on my fat stomach, and I'm just like,
who was?
let me drink a protein shake and fucking have a burger. I love.
Oh, that sounds
You
great.
were a dude, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Next thing you know, I'm fucking sitting here and I'm like,
I'm like, yeah, guys, do you like my feet?
I'm like, ooh, somebody's being loud in the back of the pair. Somebody else deal with it. I don't
Yeah.
want to fight a homeless guy.
No, of course not.
What if your whole comedy changed too? You just
hey guys, what
become
if y'all listen to each other?
your comedy gets bad?
before Michael it gets good? Maybe.
Yeah,
You
maybe.
cocksucker. Yeah, it's I don't know, but
I think the fact that you're still having dreams that allow you, like your subconscious is being like, no, it's okay to let the child be molested. That proves that you still have some man in you.
what, you think
know.
being a man is letting children get molested?
I mean, is it not? Am I wrong on that?
That's what I was.
guess I was
That's what I was
technically a
told as a
man.
child.
Yeah. Yeah, we should redefine masculinity with just random
That's what my
things like that.
babysitter said. He said, do you want to
wanna
be a man? You want to be a grown-up? This is what grown-ups do. Just kidding. I was never molested by Miles and Brianna. My neighbors.
Them specifically did not.
Yeah,
do it.
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
the need to do that all the time on podcasts because I always just say uncle.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
it's just a go-to.
Yeah, it's a
molesting thing. And
catch-all.
I'm like, no, my uncles are great guys. They're great guys.
Yeah.
Great at sex, dude. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, my
Great
uncles are great
kissers.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I come from a long line of great kissers.
Yeah, why? I will say this. Okay, I don't know if I'm not putting you on the spot just because you're from Boston, but
Yeah.
the Tom Brady video that popped up in my thing again. It is so bizarre. dude.
It is
Saw
crazy.
one.
At the time, I kind of was like, it's not whatever, it's fine. But yeah, the more like it pops up, you're like,
Well,
it's
where's
not
Tom
a great
Brady
look.
from? Isn't he from Florida? Or
He's
something?
from San Fran, I think.
San Francisco, okay.
Oh, okay. Everybody,
So it's not
dudes
even
are just
like-
making out always there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they could be.
Well,
I
it's
don't know.
that's a funny thing too. Is like the whole like if you look back in time, like we're really in a renaissance of noticing creepy stuff with kids. The last like 20 years, where it's like when
Yeah.
you were like until like To Catch a Predator and that culture kind of came out. I feel like people didn't know like you wouldn't think of it. You'd be like, oh yeah, that's just like a guy. You're like there's no way that guy's fucking that kid. Now you get on an airplane, they're like, keep an eye out for sex trafficking, and you're like looking at everybody next to you. You're like, bro,
Yeah.
do I gotta fight this man?
I think it's so interesting the quantity of like sex trafficking flyers and shit that I see. I'm like, dude, how often is this happening? I'm in like a Cumberland Farms and there's like a do you need help? Are you being sex trafficked? Also, who's sex trafficking and is so stupid they're letting their slave use the bathroom on their own?
Right.
Yeah, you have a cell phone and they let you use the stall. Like that's not
That's sex trafficking 101.
sex
Should know
trafficking
that.
101 is
Yeah.
keep your slave in eyesight.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
Yeah, you
apparently
do wonder, especially in airports and shit where they have it. They make the announcements all the time, and it's like, dude, how much of this is actually going on?
Well, it's so tricky too. Like, I don't fully understand what sex trafficking is because such an umbrella. It's like in between, like a guy who's like transporting like a toddler, across
Yeah.
borders, compared to like also that it's like a 23-year-old woman who like some guys like, oh, I'll pay for your house. I'll pay for your like a lot of it is like pimping is sex
persuasion.
trafficking. Yeah, it's like such a weird line where you're like, this is a cool pimp to this is a bad guy.
A cool pimp.
I mean, I grew up in pimps. Everything was
Pimps
I
are
want to
pretty
be a
sweet,
pimp,
dude.
When I was
Yeah.
a kid, I was like,
Exactly.
my aim was little pimpster 1125. Now they're like,
Actually, that's a sex
Little
trafficker.
pimpster. 725. Hell yeah.
yeah, I got in trouble for that. I remember my third grade girlfriend's parents were like, little pimpster, huh?
Damn.
And
Yeah.
they told my parents, I was like, what? A pimp is like a cool ass fucking dude.
Mhm. Yeah. Not understanding what things meant and then using that term anyway was a very relatable childhood thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they were like, you know what a pimp is? I'm like, yeah, I make my bitches walk the blade. You ain't talk shit to me, motherfucker.
Is that what you? What did you say when they confronted you?
I was like, I don't know. It's like a guy who has like a lot
Yeah.
of chicks, and they're like, that gets kind of loosely.
You're right, but
Yeah.
we can't explain how wrong you are because
Yeah.
it'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned like a couple pimp terms just by watching what's it called? You ever watch Soft White Underbelly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that. There was like there's a guy named Sharp who's like a real pimp. I don't know if he's a real pimp, but he's just always like, I don't know. It's like he's in the no jumper universe, He's like the Tom Segura of pimps. But no, but he's like he like fucking like he'll like slap people at podcasts who like don't call him real pimps. And they had like this like white fake pimp who was like this little kid who was like trying to build a rap career.
And he's like, yeah, I'm a pimp. Like, I do all this shit. I make these bitches walk the blade.
And I'm like writing that down. I'm like, I'm gonna use that on a podcast.
What
3
does
years
walk
from
the
now.
blade mean?
It's like walk the blade means like you're on like you're being hard on your hoes. If you're making your bitches walk the blade. I think. Can you actually look this up? I don't want to be wrong about this.
Where's a producer?
I don't know. This
I got this.
This is very much not a
I just-
misinformation podcast.
Yeah.
I do want to know when your parents confronted you about looking up or using pimp in your aim, were they like, to show you how bad pimps are, they made you go through a whole pack of hoes until you were sick of it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you
we're going to
deal
have
with-
you slap each of these 19-year-old crack addicts in the
See
face.
how, you see how not fun, how not glamorous it is dealing with all these hoes all the time.
Walk the blade. Yeah, I think it means
Okay. An area of town known for prostitution activity. So basically, I think making them work the street.
Oh,
walk the
that
blade.
makes
yeah.
sense.
Can you maybe I guess I'm wrong about this. Damn.
Yeah,
Dude, this
Tough.
is so embarrassing, dude. Everybody thinks I'm like a big pimp.
Yeah,
and then they
yeah.
hear
Now
this,
they're gonna
like,
know. They're
oh,
gonna be like,
they're
oh,
like,
he's a
Michael's not
fraud.
actually from the streets.
He's a fraud pimp.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's basically just like,
like doing the
Make it-
circuit. Like
go out and work on the
post to the
street
corner,
as
yeah.
opposed to, I guess, being like a called escort. So you know, those are undesirable clients.
It's
I
hitting
imagine.
it's hitting the open mic, the
Yeah,
prostitute
you're barking.
open mic scene.
Yeah.
They're literally barking for like their pussy. It's like, I mean, we're doing the same thing. You want to have a good time? Hey, it's $20.
Yeah, come check it out. Yeah.
You never know who's gonna drop in.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's crazy in Colombia.
All right, I was just about to ask
if
you
you go to
fucked a
Medellin.
prostitute.
If you go to
Now we know.
Medellin, it's crazy how normal it is to all the people there. Like walking on the street, like the normal people just go out. There's like a nice like downtown area and people are just out and about. But then lined on the street is just so many hot chicks that are all for sale. That are like,
Yeah.
and you're just like, how is nobody noticing?
What's the
And they're
exchange
just like-
rate? Colombia, it's very cheap to fuck prostitutes there,
It's
right?
very cheap. Yeah, it's like $30.
Is it legal?
From what I hear, I think so. There was cops and stuff just like hanging out
Okay.
with them and stuff. So,
Dude,
and then
it's
there's like
okay. Coke and
there's
hookers, just,
hotels
like,
there that
so
are
cheap
like
there.
$50 for a night. So
That's so insane, dude.
it's crazy.
Okay, and what is a gram of coke? It's something crazy in Colombia. I think it's like fucking $20. for a
yeah, I
gram.
don't know. I didn't get into the cocaine scene.
So like you could literally have coke and hookers for like $100, dude. That's so wild.
Lil
Yeah.
Pimpster 725 is coming out again.
Yeah. I mean, but I would think women would have to be on their best behavior out there if you're not a hoe because the hoes are just so accessible. So if you get into like a fight with your girlfriend,
You're like, all right.
you're
yeah,
like, I
such
can
a
get
good
a hot,
point.
I can get a hotter girl than you for $30
For
right
nothing.
now.
Yeah, but I guess everybody there is probably really poor though. So it's like the exchange rate is like.
Right, but
To
if
them,
you
that's
have
like $1
any
million.
money, if you have any money, you can
But that is,
probably.
I get what you're saying. But that is, I guess, because it's more socially acceptable, probably.
And
I
think about how hard it would be for us to like. You break up with your girlfriend now. It's like, oh damn, I got to go out and find another girl. Like you got to
Yeah.
do it the honest way. But to
It
like
was
get
so
a
difficult
to
yeah.
get a hooker out here, I wouldn't even know like what. I'm sure it's easy. I'm sure it's not that hard, but it's also not
Well, then you
that
got people
easy.
judging you. They're like, "Oh, so you just like fucked a hooker, real classy?"
Yeah.
You're like, shut up.
But out there,
I
it seems
support
like it's very
women-owned
normal.
business. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Sex
But-
work is work.
Yeah, out there, and they're just so beautiful. They're just like beautiful girls that you're like, how are you a hooker? It's kind of sad,
yeah,
but it's also, I don't know, kind of sweet.
yeah. I've never had sex.
I mean,
with-
it would make sense that they're a hooker if they're beautiful. It would be really confusing if you're like, you're disgusting.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
busted. Why are you?
But
in
it's
this?
like, yeah, you can't believe it, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of tragic. And it's like this is the only option they have, I guess.
Yeah, I got real complicated opinions on that because it's like, okay, because you pay prostitutes, you are like, all right, well, in a way, you don't necessarily want to do this, but you do want. It's such a weird consent level of prostitutes because it's like you're doing something you don't want to do, but you do want to do it because you want the money. You know what I mean? It's such a
yeah,
weird.
it's a job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
in that way, it is a job. Like, going back to me and Khalifa, it's like you're giving up your time and bodily autonomy. It's like
right.
sometimes I've been at work like having to do cold calls, and I'm like,
I feel gross.
it sucks.
Yeah.
It's not what I want to be doing with my mouth, and
Yeah,
in some ways, I
right.
kind of
I
get
wanna
what
be
those girls are
blowing
going
it
through.
out.
Yeah. I would, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You kind of are you kind of are selling your soul no matter what you do. So it's like you might as well
Might
sell
as
your
well
soul
pop
that
ass,
way.
get that pussy moving,
But-
walk the blade, bitch.
Yeah, dude, it's
Little
tough because
pimpsters
it's like
in town.
Little
because it's like
pimpsters out.
once a girl's a prostitute, it's gotta be tough for her to like go back to a normal. Like a guy's got to be really accepting to be like, oh, you were a hooker, not a bit. That's not a problem for me.
Dude, I fucked this chick who's pimped before or hoed. I fucked a girl who's hoed.
Who's hood?
No, I fucked this chick one time and she was a stripper and she said she's had sex for money before and I was kind of like, I didn't really care that much because I was
Yeah.
kind of like,
Mm.
I don't know. It's one of those things like if you're not currently doing it, and I think it's also like tricky too because it depends on what level you were doing it at. Like if you were like, okay, like if you were one of these women who you're like, yeah, for like once a week I was fucking a guy on like a boat for like $800 or like $1,000, I'd be like, all right, well, like in some, I feel like I could get past it because I'm like, it depends on what you're doing. But if you were like roaming the streets, then I'd be worried about diseases and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it depends on what kind of prostitute you were.
Yeah. A boat prostitute versus a walking the blade.
Yeah, for a land or
Yeah,
boat
yeah, yeah.
prostitute, big difference there.
Dude, I'm fucking space prostitutes, bro.
Yeah,
That'd be sick.
Do you want to come up on my rocker and suck my dick?
Yeah. Going.
But yeah, it's kind of like the strip club. Like the strip club, you feel like if you just take a step back when you're in there and just kind of like look around, you feel kind of sad. But it's like I'm probably not gonna leave. I feel it's like I feel really bad, but also it's kind of sweet. And these people are here anyway. It's like if I leave and don't participate in it, is this gonna stop it forever? Like it's no,
Yeah.
these people, and maybe the girl literally wants to do. I can't imagine she actually wants to do it, but maybe
It's a mix,
She
dude. You
does.
can make bank and you're like a slut. Like I say that very positively. I'm a big fan of sluts.
yeah.
I think it's one of those things that's like, it depends. There's mixed feelings. Like I've been to sad strip clubs and I've been to strip clubs where I'm like, oh, everybody seems like you're having fun. You know what really is a thing? You ever talk to a really dumb stripper and she seems so happy?
Mm.
She's like, this guy, I just show my tits. Everybody has a good night. You're like, God bless you. You're like, you
Yeah.
seem like you're actually.
But just knowing that, like, probably 100% of them have been sexually assaulted.
I don't know if that's accurate.
You don't think?
Nah, I don't
I
think
thought it was
so.
like a known fact that like
That's what just somebody, that's what Captain, big anti-strip club wants you to believe that. They want
Yeah.
you to be like, oh, it's such a, but I'm like, everything has so many levels to it that it's like, there's not always like a fucking across the board thing.
Right.
It's like, some people are like, no, I just like fucking and I like being on camera, so I like fucking on camera.
yeah.
Back to the thing with that, there's a comic from Orlando who did like a, I subscribed to his OnlyFans just so as a birthday present I could send another friend of mine this guy's dick pic. That'd be funny. So
It's okay, man.
I'm not. I'm like, it would be funny if like, okay, so like, let's just think of like a person, Alan Fitzgerald. Alan Fitzgerald starts an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
How funny would it be if I screenshotted a naked picture of Alan and sent it to you?
Amazing.
That'd be amazing.
It'd be
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
So I did that with this guy, and it was so funny because I was like, "Oh, this guy, the guy I was not really that big of a fan of." I was like, "All right, let's see what this guy's," and it's just him fucking like babes, like that.
Ah,
you're like,
jokes on you.
oh, yeah.
So this is a guy you knew that started doing OnlyFans.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
subscribed to it.
so I can send the other.
It's
friend.
It's a. How do you know
He's
this
a comic,
guy?
yeah.
Really?
Good for
but,
him.
but it's just him laying pipe, banging hot chicks.
Really? And he's making money. He's making
Yeah,
money
well,
off
'cause
it.
He's
like-
making money off this
man,
guy.
it's
yeah,
all-
at the
He
very
made
least.
He made at least
Yeah.
$18.
Yeah, no,
That's crazy.
well, I didn't like the guy for other reasons, but
Sure.
I don't care if he's doing that shit. But I just assumed I was like, all right, what is it going to be? This guy, and I'm like, Because you know what it is, bro? I've seen it on Field before where there's OnlyFans chicks on there. They're like looking for men to film content with. I mean, hot chicks will just fuck you if you can make content together.
Sure.
Because it's not like it's that easy for them to find. Like, everybody thinks it's easy, but I don't think it's as easy as you'd think to find guys that want to fuck on camera and show their face.
I think maybe I'd do it and then just claim it was AI. You know, you could always do that. Like,
Yeah, that is a
a
big
good
thing.
way
do
to get
porn
out of
and
it.
then be like, it's AI. Obviously, I wouldn't
But
do
it's
that as
like,
AI. That's not. You think
a bunch
you think
of
my
sec-
dick's that good, that big?
Why would they target you specifically though? That's so funny. It's like this is a targeted takedown of me,
Yeah.
Chris Kinback, famous comedian. They're trying to get what I have.
They want,
Trying to
they
take
want
me
all my
down.
power. It only makes sense that they would
Mhm.
do that to me.
The other thing,
Yeah.
it's funny too, because like, I mean, there's videos of me having sex. There's so much shit. There's like, the first thing I did when I got a phone with a camera was take a picture of my penis. Like, it was the first, I remember I took a picture of my penis, and then it was one of these folding phones, and I put it like this because the back screen had a picture of it. So
Yeah.
I had a little picture of my penis where my penis is on my pants.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I'm like, dude, this is great. And I was like, this is
Yeah.
so funny. Send it to the buddies, dude. I was be
Yeah.
like, you got a picture of my balls. Like, I mean, it's been since day one. I don't know.
Yeah,
But-
using
but
doing it
technology
for-
right.
Exactly. But doing it for humor versus like doing it for like another purpose. Bro, I'm just thinking of the first person to take a naked picture of a lady. Imagine how fucking sick that'd be. You're like, how has nobody done this yet?
Yeah.
How
I mean,
early on do you think camera invented naked picture?
dude, if you one of the oldest artifacts ever is of a fucking naked lady with a huge ass.
Really?
It's like
the goddess of Wollendorf, I think?
something like
Something
that. Yeah, it's just forever we've been capturing naked people in whatever way we can.
right.
I've been trying to do this as a bit on and off ever since I started comedy pretty much, but I went down a Wikipedia rabbit hole. This is related, I promise.
I don't give a shit.
Of like dildos and the history of dildos. And the first dildo that they have, the earliest one was from like Egypt or whatever, and it was made out of a mixture of like some sort of resin, like honey or something sticky to hold shit together. But the majority of it was made out of camel dung.
Wow.
Oh my god!
and-
shoving camel shit in your pussy.
Yeah, and so
if that doesn't turn you on, I don't know what
Right.
will.
well, my take on this is that that's how disgusting guys are. Is that this woman was literally like, I'll just fuck a pile of shit, like a literal pile of shit.
Instead of fucking this guy, instead of fucking
of
a
this
real
guy.
dick. Yeah.
I would rather have camel shit up
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
pussy.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, so fucking. We've been doing
should be, like-
capturing penises and boobs and butts forever.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should be more. It's so funny. We really don't have pride in ourselves because we're like, the internet making us weird. I'm like, bro, we used to watch people kill each other in arenas,
Mm.
and then we'd go home to our like 9-year-old wife. We did that for so long.
The
And
good,
now
the
we're-
good old days.
Yeah.
You mean?
Yeah, we're like, God, the internet's frying my brain because of man on the street videos, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
We humanity. If you're listening to this, take your hand off your penis and pat yourself on the back because you've made it.
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
now
unless
it's
you're
just
still watching
now
Billy
it's
Bird
just
and fucking
more. It's
9-year-olds.
more of it on a nonstop basis. Like back
Right.
then, that was the thing you did for the day. Like you saw a guy get eaten
Mhm.
by a lion, and then you went back home. But now we see that like 1,000 times a day,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it's just too much.
Do you think? When do you think pre-games? Do you think pre-games were a thing back? That's
for the
when you-
Coliseum?
Oh, dude, I just
Yeah,
like.
man.
Yeah, the
Amazing.
tailgate outside the fucking Coliseum, just
Oh.
drinking wine and meat and shit.
It
Yeah,
had to be fucking.
Be
So when you
insane.
don't know this is terrible, and you're like, this is like that's better than watching Transformers, watching a guy get mauled by a
for
lion.
sure.
Oh yeah,
If you don't,
definitely.
you're not really thinking about like the impact it is and how it's like bad for you. You're like, this is just
No.
cool.
Yeah,
You're like, that guy's a criminal. He talks shit about the king.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
no.
He deserves it.
Yeah, I'll watch a lion eat his head.
yeah.
Honey,
that
do you
would've
want
been
anything?
cool
Looking
times.
over at the 8-year-old next to you,
I can't imagine anything more exciting than just the level of shit. That
marrying an
we're doing.
8-year-old.
Absolutely. Yeah, marrying an 8-year-old, having someone to do coloring with.
Keeps you young.
Yeah, save money on birthday candles for the first few years.
What if a lot of like, it'd be really funny if like, people were like sexist, obviously. I mean, still are, but like for a while, people have gotten progressively less sexist. What if that's because people are just dating closer towards their range? So like people were women couldn't vote because your wife was like 12 at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
Like
"Women are
look how
fucking
dumb
stupid."
she is.
That's why sex.
Yeah, you're like, "These are
Women are fucking stupid. They're always like goo goo gaga.
Yeah.
You know.
And now we're like, oh shit, yeah. Now that she's fucking my age, I guess she's not that dumb.
Yeah. That was I was telling my girlfriend about how you know that Jerry Seinfeld had like a fucking 17 or 19-year-old girl. 17, I think. 16.
It just keeps getting younger.
I know weird
think it was-
stats on this. I'm like, that comedian said the
So
N-word in 2003. I know like so much random shit.
Yeah. So you know about this. The audience, I don't know. Jerry Seinfeld dated a teenager. For sure. Bona fide teenager.
Under 18.
Under 18 when he was, I think, 39.
Yeah.
And what was amusing about this, my girlfriend actually pointed out, is like, isn't he known for like his fucking acute intelligence and how he like he doesn't hug people because he's like, ooh, people are stupid and dirty, and it's like, and then you want us to believe that you mentally connect with like a 16-year-old girl,
Right.
Yeah.
and it wasn't just because it was a fucking child.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious that it's just the guy whose whole thing is like, I perceive the world. I'm so smart and I can see. I'm so good at observational stuff. And then he's just like, also, I kind of like, I'm on the same wavelength as this high school girl.
Yeah, there's no way unless she was like a gifted student in like Harvard.
And
That's where
maybe,
it does
you know.
get weird. I will say this: if somebody's like, my girlfriend's 17,
But she's a genius.
but she's a genius, so technically she's smarter than all the women my age.
Yeah.
How does that work? Because in a way, you're like, are you? Because like the problem,
That is a cheat code because a lot of guys are as dumb as a childhood girl.
Right.
which
Right.
is-
She doesn't even have to be that
that's
smart.
murky waters.
She wouldn't even have to be that smart a
Yeah.
17-year-old to be smarter than a lot of
most
dudes,
of my
you know?
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they should arrange it. Like, if it should go by IQ. We should be able to date within our IQ.
kinda
you know?
reasonable.
I'm just, you catch me outside hitting myself in the head with a
Yeah,
brick.
I'm so stupid.
Next to a hot girl with Down syndrome.
Why am I so dumb?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy dude. That has gotten so much on TikTok that like fucking like apparently a lot of them are AI. So
I've heard about this.
OnlyFans chicks will like do AI as them retarded.
with a Down syndrome like
Filter.
filter.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so wild to do a Down syndrome filter because I've seen it. They have like these amazing bodies and then a very Down syndrome face.
Yeah,
I think we're just going towards like you just keep trying new crazy shit. It's like where else?
Yeah.
What other angle can we go at to make it
Yeah.
like?
It's like fast food companies just coming out with like, you know, what else is Taco Bell going to wrap in cheese?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh wow, and now
they're wrapping it in.
they're wrapping it in Down syndrome. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but I thought something might come to me.
My favorite was there's one of those where it's like a woman with Down syndrome. She's like, yeah, I can drink. Yeah, I can have sex. I can do whatever you guys do. Somebody shared the video and went, yo, y'all better not keep saying shit like this and get mad when I fuck one.
I mean, they're allowed to. I don't know the laws. I
It's
don't know.
completely illegal. It's incredibly unethical.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guy to girl, the same thing. I mean, girl to guy,
Yeah,
girl to
yes.
guy, the same thing.
Yeah, but I think less people care. Like if you saw a hot babe with a guy with Down syndrome, you'd be like, nice.
Right.
So, like you definitely would care less.
In some countries, the government pays for like if you're like in a wheelchair or something, government pays for you to get a prostitute like a couple times a year.
That is awesome.
Wow.
I think that should-
That's,
that
that's
sounds
a
like-
progressive country.
Yeah, I want to say that's like Sweden or Switzerland
Yeah.
or something.
They're always doing funny shit where it's like Switzerland's so interesting because I think everybody there has like an AR-15 because like if you join the Swiss Reserve, you like need to like everybody needs to. It's like with the IDF kind of thing where like you join.
How hot is it? Those pictures of like the Israeli chicks in
Oh my
in the
gosh.
military.
Yeah.
You know they're not like actually doing anything, but just the pictures of them
Mhm.
well
holding
now it's
guns
not
and
hot
shit.
if there's nobody dying at the
Right.
hands of them. I mean, who even cares?
Yeah.
Um,
Tough to get hard to that.
But no, yeah, they're insane.
Speak for yourself.
No, yeah, they're insanely hot. But yeah, Switzerland's weird like that. Where like I think acid's legal. You can kill yourself
Mhm.
legally, and you can just have an AR-15. But it's like so hard to like. I also get the argument with guns where you're like, that's a tiny country compared to like America. Like it's like everything's nothing's transferable.
To
You're like,
say acid and suicide are legal is really seems like a setup. Basically, it's like yeah, do all the acid and then also kill yourself. if you want. We don't care. We don't mind.
Kill you.
Yeah.
I think it's the cost of living there is also extremely high, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the whole country is an exclusive zone.
Yeah.
Which I think is why, like you were saying, it's like not like the United States where it's this huge, diverse country. It's like, yeah, you can have everybody have a gun when there's like your country is an exclusive country club, I guess,
Right,
because everybody's
right.
kind of on the same page.
You don't
already?
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. Didn't somebody do like a mass crossbow shooting in one of those countries?
That's
pretty funny.
I heard about that. Like someone
That
with
takes
a bow
some
and arrow.
skill.
Yeah,
That one you actually gotta respect.
Yeah.
Much more than like the driving a car into a crowd or something. That doesn't take a whole lot of
something lowbrow
planning.
like that.
Yeah, it's amateur hour.
The thrill, though, like
Driving a car. I mean, you can get that thrill from Grand Theft Auto. I feel like the same
no,
thrill.
totally. By the way,
you
I'm
know?
not saying I'm not advocating for mass killing people.
Well, you can't afford a car anyway.
No,
so.
I can't. But the moment when
But you can afford a crossbow.
the moment of doing a match, you have to be like, this.
It's
I don't even.
crazy.
Oh my God.
You got to be like, I don't want to die anymore. You're like, this is what life is. You're like, there's
Yeah.
a little because it's like if you think about how exhilarating it is in a video game, imagine the thrill.
Right.
This is gonna be taken so out of context.
No, I'm with you. I'm totally. Just remember me as your friend when you eventually
for it.
tip over the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that.
I'm a
Modern
I'm a fucking very nonviolent person, but I'm like, I understand the thrill, like mentally, the rush you have to get of just.
Have you ever killed someone in a dream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I killed my mom. She was a zombie, and I had to kill her. And I was like, fuck.
She deserved it.
Yeah, totally.
Well, it's probably like jumping off a bridge or something. When you in the air, you're probably like, "This is sick."
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
like-
And then you hit
it's
the
like-
ground.
and then
You're
you're
like,
like,
I
"Damn,
knew it.
dude."
I fucking knew it.
I knew this was coming.
Like
I knew it
halfway
was
through, you're
coming.
like, "Damn, I wish I didn't do it." Like this
Yeah.
is living.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
that's
Cool.
what they say whenever they get somebody who lived when they like jumped off something to
Okay.
kill themselves. They're always like, as soon as I jumped off, I was like, "Fuck, why did I do that?"
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
You're
I
just
thought-
forgetting one thing. You're like, shit, didn't I have $900 in that savings account I forgot about? Just like one thing you forgot.
That's somebody said that to me about committing
I never
suicide.
traded that
It's like,
Pokemon card, damn it.
yeah, basically like you've pretty much never pulled out all the stops before suicide. Like somebody I don't remember who it was, but it was like, did you even try being gay?
Yeah.
You got to try everything possible
Right,
before killing
right.
yourself.
Yeah.
Or do it like a Grand Theft Auto, like just see how many like police stars you can get up to. Like do something
Sure.
crazy, like or like what's that movie with Jason Statham, Crank?
Crank.
Yeah.
Where you just do that, like just
Yeah.
do all the craziest shit where you can't get your adrenaline down ever, and
Mhm.
Oh,
life would probably
totally.
be
Yeah. It's
pretty
crazy
sweet.
you kill yourself before trying heroin. That's like absurd.
do
Yeah.
heroin, get into as much credit card debt as like just ring up so much
Yeah,
credit
but
card
get a
debt,
credit card.
Yeah.
Get a new
steal
credit-
shit,
Yeah.
like steal from a fucking convenience store.
Don't do
Yeah.
it by the fucking ones by me because I'm tired of them locking up the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
people, so don't steal by me.
Get in a fight, like just get punched by somebody.
Fight Club it.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
something.
It's so ridiculous. Yeah.
There's a
just
lot
you
you
do
can
that
break
do.
shit. Go somewhere and break something.
But
yeah.
when you're that depressed, you're not really like thinking.
Of course. Yeah.
Like, it's almost hard to even be like, meh, I don't even want to get punched in the face. Right, I'm too sad to punch somebody in the face right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm too like, I just don't understand. I mean, I have a bit about it, but I just don't understand the like confidence in the other side. Like, no matter you're so confident. I mean, I guess I've heard it's like you're in so much pain that like,
You just want that. You
yeah,
just
no
want to
matter-
go
you're,
to
you're like,
sleep.
there's no fucking way whatever's on the other side is worse than this.
Right.
But you could be wrong. It
But
could
what
be
if you're
exactly
what
like-
if you're right and like suicide actually it is the goal to get there as fast as possible. So you're like you win basically. You're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, it was way better.
You're
Why
like,
was
I'm
I
getting
upset at
blown
all
by
for a
just
minute?
getting
Immediately
your dick
wind up in
sucked.
heaven.
Yeah,
You're
like, oh
getting your dick
shit.
sucked by some angel with huge tits. You're like, dude, best decision of my life was killing myself.
Yeah, she's got like the biggest wings because they have to hold up her giant boobs.
Yeah, who
huge.
knows?
Man, simple stuff, just big old boobies.
Big boobs.
It's crazy, dude.
I think your mind is not in a right place when that's your solution. Which makes me think of when you were in school. Did they ever tell you the phrase like suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem?
Probably, yeah.
I heard that and it stuck with me because I was like, number one, you're calling it a solution.
Yeah.
And number two, you're referring to life as a temporary problem. Like this is not. I don't think you're putting forth the right messaging here.
Yeah.
This is misguided, at least.
Well, and I have such a hard grasp because, like, okay, so I've had a lot of friends kill themselves, and it's
Maybe
it's-
too,
it's a-
man.
Yeah. What's up?
What?
What'd you say?
I said maybe it's you.
No,
I was
no,
just
no.
kidding.
You're definitely playing a
Mentally,
part
I've
in
thought it
that.
before. I'm like, this
Oh,
is
man.
a lot
Yeah.
of people. Where I'm
when
like,
you didn't like, you were like, "What's up?" I was like, "Oh fuck, is he about to hit me?
No.
What's up? What's up?"
dude, you could literally say, "I hope your mother gets skull fucked by a rhino." Like nothing is gonna. Like I would be such a
Yeah.
fucking hypocrite after all the shit I said for me to ever get offended by fucking
Yeah.
anything.
I'm
But
with you on that.
I think we could do it.
try. Right.
Yeah.
Fucking. But what is it? Fucking. Yeah.
Your friends have.
Yeah. Well, it's like I remember I looked through some like, dude, some of the last texts I sent. I have such I'm a pretty optimistic person, so I have such a like ununderstanding grasp of like deep depression, where it's like I'm sending my video. Like one of the last things I sent my friend is like a Come Town video. I sent him like he was really depressed. I sent him like videos of my face with Down syndrome AI. But you know what mistake I made? I'm not a sexy OnlyFans model who used the filter. That would have made me.
Maybe that would have held him on. Yeah.
But it's like now the last messages to my friends are me with Down syndrome, some Come Town video, and like. But it's like my brain. I'm like, all right. Let me just try to think of the most positive things that can like send. But it's not like
uplifting. I mean, honestly, that's not a bad last message in my opinion.
Yeah. Kameetsner Gordon.
And it's like the best you could do. Like you can only do so much.
Yeah. Well, you
know?
never know like exactly when it's like you're always like, all right, this is bad, but you don't know like it's like what are you gonna fucking just go over to everybody's house who's depressed and be like, all right, so.
Is it today?
Yeah. I got things to do. Is it today or is it not today? Yeah. But you know, that's life. I don't know. It is weird that like I've noticed the breakup trajectory and the friend loss trajectory is, I mean, it's different timelines, but it's this loss, like breakups and like people dying. It's like a similar thing where like you do come to some feelings of like this is still sad for me, but you are still like, oh, I found some level of acceptance in this like. Like this is just the world I live in now versus like this is just shocking news. That makes any sense.
Do you mean like your own personal breakups or watching other people?
I've only been through
break up?
one breakup, but I've had a lot of friends die, and I've noticed like mentally you go through at different speeds, but you go through the same cycles. Like it's the same grief cycles where you're like, okay, well, at first you're like freaked out, doesn't feel real, really depressed. You know, then you got this, then you got that, and then eventually you get to the part where you're like, this is really sad, and at moments I'll still cry about it, but I've accepted that this is the world I live in. Like, you just accept the facts of the world you live in versus being like...
I thought you were saying that breakups are the lead to the suicides. So I'm like,
well, in some cases,
yeah. Like, sounds like we can blame chicks for a lot of things.
Yeah.
So.
But it's one of those things where you're like, I don't know, it's interesting how much they mimic the same thing.
Mm.
But, you know, it's not like my friends are out there fucking other boys, but, you know.
Idiots.
Yeah, they gotta
good
get
boys.
on that.
They gotta find some good boys, dude. They're out there.
Oh man, that was a perfect little bow tie on this little hour.
Oh, we didn't record any of this.
Yeah.
Start over.
That's the episode. What do you guys want to promote?
You want to go?
The good boys, dude.
Yeah.
Just get out there.
Yeah, get out there.
See you out there.
Keep yakking.
Yeah.
Yakking.
See me on the street, yell good, holler good boys, dude, and I'll know that somebody watched this episode.
Yeah, comment about Michael's feet and let me know if you want mine because they're literally free. You can ask. I'll give them to you.
Oh, yeah. Andrew, what's your Instagram?
Follow me on Instagram, please, at Andrew Man Thing, and watch my roasts on YouTube if you are into that shit.
He's
great roaster.
You're great at it, dude.
Top notch.
Thanks, man.
Christopher?
Chris Kinback.
Both fucking
about
hilarious comics. You guys are
Thanks,
very
man.
funny. Like,
Yeah, 2 out of 3 of us are good. 2 out of 3 of us are doing really well.
All right, we're gonna edit
cookie
this
if
part
you're
out.
driving.
You've now pissed me off.
Offended. Yeah, I knew he did, dude.
Definitely offended.
All right, thank you.